now, and I believe we're live. So hi, Mel. Look at your background. I love it. It's Friday.
Yeah,
That's
it's Aloha Friday.
Did you create that or did you find it online?
I created it, just another one of those like digital do's.
I think that's fun, and it's a great message to send today to everybody out there, which is there's ways to see the silver lining and have fun. And we may not be able to go to a beach right now, but Mel's hanging out on the beach with squirrels and sandcastles. And what is in the background there? You've got what other kind of animals?
Oh, so there's two squirrels. One's in the corner. That corner. One's at the sandcastle, and then it's just a ocean background with some clouds.
Beautiful. Who doesn't love an ocean background?
I would like to have an ocean background live, but
yeah,
that's the best thing.
Yeah, and the other thing I find for me, and I'll just give this advice out there for everybody today, which is I like to, if I'm having trouble going to sleep, I'll turn on you can even ask Alexa to do it or go to Amazon, it's free. And they have ocean waves that just crash,
Ocean wave one.
Yeah.
I kind of like rain.
The rain, gorgeous too, the rain. But, some people may live in a state that's watching and they're like, I hate rain. It rains here all the time, especially if they're in Seattle, right? Or Portland. So they don't want to be around, or Chicago. They don't want to be around any rain. They just want to the ocean crashing and, it's just so serene. So thank you for the reminder that we can still have so much fun with what's happening. My husband and I are preparing on Sunday for Easter. And since I can't really go shopping, I went shopping online, ordered all my Easter baskets for all the grandkids. And we're going to be flying in Easter baskets in a drone. And I don't usually, I'm more of a traditions person. I create traditions in the family. So our traditions are dipping eggs. And since we're not able to get all the grandkids together to do that, I don't really do Easter egg hunts, or I just do dipping eggs. That's my thing. So they're all going to be getting their own dipping egg kits and their own eggs. And so they can just dip them at home. So I won't be able to be with them, but we can do videos during the time that they're dipping and stuff like that. So, and we thought it'd be fun. We've been my husband's been flying the drone in to do little fun things for their birthday and things like that. So it's very, very memorable.
Yeah, that's a great way to turn your regular traditional holiday into something totally fun out of the box for them.
Right. So I would love to utilize that advice and share that to everybody out there to say, what can you take out of these times now and create a memorable experience for those in your life that you love. And I know many children right now are loving this because they get the time to sleep and not have to get up so early. They're not running around from activity to activity to school to activity to activity, which I think they're way too overloaded anyway. They finally get downtime. Yes, they miss their friends, but we know family is so important and parents are constantly complaining. That was my husband that just sneezed. People are constantly complaining that we don't ever have family time. The kids don't ever slow down because they're constantly so busy out there. And this is a chance because they're home. You've got them there. So now I hear complaints. Oh my gosh, I've got to homeschool. And now, my kids are here all the time and I can't get away from them. It's like, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, no.
So you got exactly what you wished for. And I love it. So it's perspective and it's mindset. And that is what Mel does every day.
I know.
Working with people, she helps them process.
Do we get to sleep in? No.
No. I'm not sleeping in. I'm getting up at the exact same time. In fact, I'm actually, because I don't get to do my workouts at night, in my community here like I would, because I teach in my community as well, because I don't have the opportunity to do that, I'm actually doing my, going out in the morning like you now, and I'm running or doing a workout in my room, but I'm doing morning stuff, and I would normally do it in the evening because I just feel like being in the sun and getting that vitamin D in the morning really helps start my day. And so find some new normals for you out there and how you can apply that to become a habit. So then now you can utilize that moving forward in your everyday life. What can we shift to be a positive? And we talked the other day in one of our Facebook chats about what we could do to get rid of, taking inventory and get rid of the things you don't need. So I think bad habits are a good thing. Even resentment or anger or depression. What can we get rid of that we don't need, that's weighing us down, that's not serving us? Yeah. So Mel, you serve a lot of people. And what I love about Mel, and when I first met her, I was like, oh my gosh, girl, there are so many female entrepreneurs that need what you offer. She's like an angel floating around that delivers what all of us need, which is a lot of virtual assistance. And so, Mel, I would love for you to talk about what you have been doing, what you do, but then what you've been doing now through the pandemic to even help your clients even more.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks so much. Yeah. And a lot of what you just said as far as like trying to get out of our funk and to learn a better way of doing things or a more healthier way of doing our day-to-day life. Right now, for busy professional entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, our day-to-day is our work. Like everything is mixed into one. So you thought it was bad before. Now you're, doing work far outside of your new norm hours. And so I come in to offer support to all of us entrepreneurs and solopreneurs that are doing everything, that have all four burners on, they have their plates full, they don't know what to give up because they don't even have time to think about that. Mm-hmm. They don't have time to think about bringing somebody else in and relieving their stress. But, the more that, you can think about what's the one thing that you don't like doing. What's the one thing that you wake up in the morning and you're just like, I do not want to read my emails. I do not want to worry about going through my schedule today and figuring out how I'm going to, take care of figuring out what insurance I should, change over to, or responding to customer service inquiries or questions right now. That's heightened. You get my clients are getting a lot of people asking questions. Clients, you have to be calm. You have to be responsive and empathetic. But, so I'm here for those people. My skills are varied. So I have 20 years of HR and operational experience. I'm here to offer support wide range virtually. And my owners or clients have found it kind of hard, like, wow, everything's virtual online. How do I go about this? Zooms. As some of them are like, oh my gosh, how do I do a Zoom? Can you help me out? I'm lending my Zooms to them. I'm like, here, let me show you how to get on. Yeah. But luckily during this pandemic, it hasn't hurt my business too much because everyone is forced to be online or working from home. So I'm just hoping that for everyone's sake, this doesn't continue on for, months and months down the road. But I'm here to offer, another ear, another person to help support business owners and solopreneurs through this tough time of trying to figure out how to navigate through this online virtual world that we're in right now.
Yeah. And I want to bring up the point, and some people may agree with me on this and some may not, but now is not the time to be shrinking back and trying to do everything yourself. So if you if you do not have someone, you are at a place where and I know a lot of women that have reached out to me in the last few months that I put Mel in contact with, and they've said, I'm looking for a VA. Does anyone have a virtual assistant that I can use? I really need someone to help out. And maybe you're looking for someone to help out because you don't know how to create brochures, or you're not really sure, like she said, how to do online, setting up someone to coordinate online meetings for you, or coordinate your schedule for calls, or coordinate if you're getting ready to launch a summit and you need someone to help you align that or market that or whatever it may be. The way that someone said it to me, which resonated very, very easily and quickly, that sunk in, was, you need to do what Colleen does best. So talking with women and being out in the forefront and leading the charge, and running the summits and running the events, and being the person that is there speaking to women on a regular basis and supporting women on a regular basis. That's what your gift is, and that's what your creative genius is. Let us help you with the rest. Mm-hmm. So when you're thinking about, I have to post every day on social media and do a video on Instagram to keep my algorithms up, to do X, Y, Z. I think, I know for a fact that's one of the reasons why I hired a social media company, because I needed consistency and someone to just take care of the day-to-day for me. Then it gives me the freedom to then post extras when I want to, do extra videos like this when I want to, put an extra thought of a video of me on Instagram when it comes to me and I'm inspired to, but not feel forced like it's a have to, that's a burden that lives on you daily. Because then when you're sending a message or speaking to people out there, that's the energy they feel.
Yeah.
Right.
And I found, from the entrepreneurs out there, they have so little resources and they're on tight finances. So they can't bring on a full-time person to support. Yeah. And that's why you go and outsource. Mm-hmm. I'm here to offer support in many different areas, but it doesn't have to be the whole shebang.
Right.
You do what you do best and outsource the rest. Like it's the easiest how to. You don't have to do it all.
Yeah.
So my favorite client response was one of the owners. She was like, it was just like an aha moment. She was talking to me and she's like, I had the brightest smile on my face when I looked at the clock and it was 5 a.m. and I knew I did not have to get up and do my content creation. Like, I got to go back to sleep because I knew that you were doing that. Like, she's so like, great. She was just smiling so big, and that's what made me feel so good.
Yeah, it's great when I'll use. I'm not really sure who said this. It might have been. I'm not really sure who I watched, which video that said this. But we all, every person in the entire world, have one thing in common, and that's 24 hours a day. We all have the same time. So why is it that certain people can get so much done in a 24-hour period and others get this much done in a 24-hour period? And it has to do with how you buy time. So the way that you buy time, because what do people say? Oh, I wish I could buy more time. I wish I could have more time. It's all about time. I don't have enough time to do that. We've all said it 1,000 times. The way that you expand your time is by expanding your resources. So if you have, I'll use the easy math. If you have Colleen working on her business 24 hours a day, and then Colleen adds Mel, who does 4 hours of hours of work on her business a day, she just added 4 hours of work to my 24 hours. So I just got 28 hours. Does that make sense? So the more that you add resources and time of people, you add more time. So now those 4 hours that she put into my business, I just got as additional resources. So then if I hire say I have a web developer doing my back end web stuff, and they're working on my website 2 hours a day. They're working on my business another 2 hours. I just added 2 more hours to the amount that I can get done in a day. That's how you buy time, by having and trusting and giving the things that you do not like to do. I want to remind everybody, you are all created with a specific creative genius. And that doesn't mean that if you run a business, you have to know how to market, how to build a website, how to talk to customers, how to sell customers, how to do, social media posts, how to run, back end. You don't have to know how to do a magazine, like publish a magazine, right? I didn't know how to do any of that.
Yeah.
That's why I have someone that works with me that does that. So you don't have to gain a skill set in every area to be an entrepreneur. That's not a well-rounded person that learns how to do everything. In fact, that's one of the worst things you can do, is to spend your time, I call it wasting your time, learning how to do things that are not your creative genius. Leave the skill sets to those that do it best. Hire them to take care of it for you, and you do what you do best. And that's how you grow your business. And I'm sorry, but there isn't a way to grow the business unless you have other resources that give you the time for you to focus on the business and not be the business.
Yes, you got it. I was going to ask you before we wrap up, I know we're running out of time, but I've looked up to you in the short time that I've known you with such great fondness that I wonder, how do you do all of this that you do with a smile on your face? You're such a positive person. You are amazing. You're like authoring, you're podcasting, you're writing magazines, you're live all the time. How do you do it?
I have people that help me. So, I have a social media company that I've sat down and gone through, and they know, we meet up every month and they know what I'm promoting and what we're working on. I have them creating, things for me for the podcast. I have a producer that I hired, a freelance, right? Same freelance producer that takes care of all of my voiceovers and makes sure that I can get them uploaded on my podcast. I have someone that designs and is an artist for the magazine that takes care of laying it all out. I have somebody that publishes the magazine and does distribution of the magazine and handles another person that handles subscriptions. And then we have another person that handles everything on our back end of our web developing. So essentially, I've taken who Mel is and I've outsourced it, to probably 5 or 6 other people. And so I get the question all the time, how many employees do I have? And I really look at all of them as my employees, because I'm paying them as my resources to be able to keep this business, humming and moving forward. Because if it was all me, it would just fall to oblivion. So it gives me the opportunity to be out in the front, to do what it is that I'm able to do, and focus on the things that are important. And I like to return my emails, and I like to be the one to send personal messages. So that's something that I enjoy, responding to people. So I wouldn't want to hand that off, because that's not something I wake up cringing now. Not understanding the social media algorithms and knowing that I should be posting and getting information out there every day is something I worry about. So by hiring someone to do that, I love it, because then if I have time in my day and feel inspired, I'll put a video out there, or a message or a quote. If I don't have the time, or I wasn't really inspired to send a message that day, or maybe I was traveling and it wasn't the right time, I know that my community is still being educated, inspired, and motivated. And that's my goal. Because I've taken care of making sure that someone else is doing that when I'm not able to. And that's how you're able to buy time. So I can't say enough how important what Mel does, and being able to take a lot of those resources and combine it into one. Don't be down on yourself if you feel like I can't do it all. You weren't meant to do it all. Period.
Definitely not. And have the attitude of gratitude. Be thankful for everything, and don't feel bad about asking for help.
That's really a good one. There is, be humble. That put the ego at the door. They don't exist. You have an ego and you're a entrepreneur. Good luck. I mean, confidence and self-esteem is one thing, but an ego is another. And I want to offer everyone the opportunity, and Mel and I didn't talk about this before, but I'd love for Mel to drop her information in below in the comments section. And if you're even considering, like, I don't even know if Mel would work with me because I really only need X. I really only need Y. I don't even know how much she costs. I don't know what she would charge. I think the best thing is just to find out. Yeah. Can she do what you need? Is she able to assist you with some projects? Maybe it's just one project and it's a very temporary hire that you're just working with her for a small period of time. So I want to encourage everyone to reach out to Mel, and she'll drop her contact information in the bottom, because you don't know until you pick up the phone and call. Yeah. And what if she is able to help you with something? You're like, I've had people help me with things. I'm like, you're a godsend. Thank you. It's so great. I never would have gotten this done.
I hear that all too often.
So crucial. So crucial. So Mel, you're awesome. I love it that we met. I love it that I'm able to put you out in front of our global watchers and listeners, and for you to be able to do what you do. It's so special and it's so needed. And if any of you think you can do it on your own, you're wrong. You can't.
Thank you so much for all of your support to all of us wonderful women.
Absolutely. That's why we're here. We're here to lift each other. So this is another resource for you to reach out to. Mel, thanks for joining me today. You're so beautiful, so awesome. Everybody have a wonderful Easter, and please share this video if you think anyone out there needs the assistance, because Mel's a great virtual assistant.
Thanks so much, Colleen. Have a good day.
You're welcome. See you. Bye.